searching for the witch Ciri had quarreled with, Geralt ran into an old friend, Keira. The sorceress told the Witcher about a masked mage. Ciri had seemed to have taken shelter in his hideout. The Witcher set off to find it, with Keira in tow. Ciri had never reached the elven mage, yet the wild hunt had. The ghostly retinue was one step ahead of Geralt, or so it seemed. The Witcher felt that all was lost, until Keira gave him a new lead. The Crones of Crookback Bog.
Ask a service of the Witcher, the Pella must. A witcherly service, that's to say.
What do you need? Tell me.
A man who fears no evil the Pella needs. Forefathers' Eve is nigh. We've rites to conduct. Wandering souls to emerge. Damned souls, too. We've the circle to protect from these wretches.
Why hold the ritual at all?
At times men die choking with regret. At times death takes them before they've tasted any bitterness in life. These poor souls, unfulfilled, cannot leave this vale of tears. Their spirits wander midst the living, must be judged, sent on their way. This we do on Forefathers' Eve.
What'll I get out of it?
Witches do naught for free, this the Pella knows. Not to fear. How to reward one for their aid, this too the Pella knows.
Seems like you could use a witcher, so yeah, I'll help.
You'd not refuse, the Pella knew. The time's come to gather the folk. Across the lake we must journey, to Fyke Isle. There in the circle of stones we shall meet.
The sooner we resolve this, the better. Best do it tonight at midnight.
regret your mum ever squirted you out. Go for the horse eyes!
Come on, come closer. Wide, heavy wheels. Merchant's wagon. Veered off the road at high speed. Doesn't bode well. Yeah, merchant traveling across Velen alone. No way that was gonna end well. Leftovers, cuts of meat, cataplepis. Wonder what spell requires that. Package still intact. Don't sense anything magic though. Wonder how Keira will explain this one. The dry red from Zibran, southern slope. Notes of black currant and citrus. Pains the heart.
Just when I was starting to miss you.
Got those, substances you wanted?
Splendid. I can finally begin my study of double arboreal racination patterns. But first, I'll...
Brew yourself a mug of mulled wine? Saw what the wagon was carrying. Exquisite meats, expensive wines, Zerrikanian spices. Not a speck of magic. Care to tell me what you're up to?
I would rather show you, but you must wait a bit.
Color me intrigued. Fine, I'll wait.
Then shoo, outside.
Gonna slip into something more comfortable?
Later. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Well, go on, out. You've been patient, thank you. It's almost ready.
Huh? If I wanted to see white mice, I'd just get drunk.
Note that I said almost. Now don't interrupt. The Kane Vin Hateful.
Third mouse. What happened to it?
The spell has a 66.67% chance of success. I always use one more than I need, just in case.
So where did... Keira, can I explain what's going on here?
Know the fairy tale about Cinderella?
Mm-hmm. True story it's based on, too. A Zoogle cropped up in a palace pond and ate Princess Cinderella whole. Left behind one slipper, so...
I beg you, not another word about Zoogles. Now, to return to the fairy tale, I'd like to escape these ghastly swamps for one magical night. I don't need a fairy godmother, I'll cast the spells myself. But I could use a Prince Charming. It just so happens you're the only decent candidate in all Velen. So, what do you say to a moonlight ride on horseback? And dinner?
Sounds tempting. So tempting, I don't think I can refuse.
Before we go, there's one more thing.
Gotta transform a pumpkin into a carriage?
No. I shall transform our rancid rags into something more glamorous. Don't wince. It'll only be an illusion, won't hurt a bit. And at dawn, everything will return to normal.
Why not? Might as well go all out.
Then hold on tight. Gavella Glan. So, what do you think? Neckline too modest?
It's just right.
Oh, I might also have changed your hair colour while I was at it. I've always fancied dark-haired men. Oh well, any port in a storm. Well, off we go. Dinner's waiting. Last one there does the dishes.
Come on.
Whoa, Cinderella. We'll have a great fall.
As fast as you can. Try to catch me.
Hey-ya!
I thought you were a better horseman.
For the record, I was riding a mouse.
For someone who usually trots around on a roach, that shouldn't present a challenge. Now do you see why I needed those substances?
Beef and cinnamon and cloves, roasted capon with shallots. It was worth the trouble.
Shall I pour the white or the...
Dry red, but let it breathe a little first.
Well, well, never took you for a wine connoisseur.
Think witchers suck the marrow out of drowner bones and wash it down with puddle water?
More or less. Well, we've chatted long enough on empty stomachs. Let's dig in.
Must have cost you a small fortune. Sure you don't need me to pitch in?
Please, I manage. You know, a dozen eggs here, a cock or gander there. Besides, my finances are about to improve.
How, if you don't mind my asking? I mean, you'd think the only work to be had in Velen would be in farming.
Very true. So, I've two options. I can either start cultivating turnips or leave. But that's not what I wish to discuss. Thank you once again, Geralt, for your help with the tower. You were fabulous.
Not the first curse I've lifted.
But among the most difficult, correct? What happened on that island? Why I shiver at the thought. And the laboratory. I sincerely hope you burnt everything. The cages, the corpses, the papers.
Didn't destroy that workshop, if that's what you're asking. Didn't see any reason to.
If Alexander's findings were to fall into the wrong hands. Although, Fyke Isle has a terrible reputation. None even dare go there. Perhaps there's nothing to worry about. I'm sorry. Such a gloomy subject to broach. I simply shouldn't have, not during our romantic dinner.
Romantic? Thought we came here as friends.
Friends. With benefits. So...
Sorry, there's someone else.
So what? Oh, Geralt. You're so old-fashioned. Will you at least lie down and gaze at the stars with me?
Why not?
Know what they call that constellation in Zerrikania?
Dragon something, I bet.
No, it has a different name. Bit indecent, actually. Lean closer and I'll whisper it in your ear. Egfain Nave.
Keira? Where? Put me to sleep with a spell. Means she's up to something. Fyke Isle. The tower. A light. Top floor of the tower. So, found what you were looking for?
Yes, thanks for asking. How are you feeling? Sleep well?
What do you want with those papers?
Why, I aim to use them to continue important work that a man's tragic death put on hold. Alexander was studying the Catriona plague. I'll use his notes to produce medication, perhaps a cure, or at least a vaccine.
Strictly humanitarian motivations, is that it?
No, strictly selfish ones. The mighty would pay willingly for such a remedy. Can you imagine how much? Take Radovid, for instance. Why, he might even consider forgetting my past associations with the Lodge.
You're either incredibly gullible, or you're trying to play me again.
Whatever do you mean?
Radovid has one objective: to defeat Emir. Curing Catriona, stopping the plague, won't help him do that. So he'll either burn you at the stake with those notes among the kindling, or he'll make you use them to create a weapon.
Don't be ridiculous. Bacteria cannot be controlled.
Not yet. But it's possible in theory, isn't it?
In theory, it's just as possible for a Dachshund to impregnate a she-wolf. I don't have time to debate this, Geralt. I'm going to see Radovid whether you like it or not.
Keira, I won't let you do this. Thousands of lives in exchange for your amnesty might seem a fair price to you, not to me.
I'll not give you these notes. I'll not give you anything.
Please, don't make me.
Shut up and draw your sword.
While searching for the witch Ciri had quarreled with, Geralt ran into an old friend, Keira Metz. The sorceress told the Witcher about a masked mage. Ciri had seemed to have taken shelter in his hideout. The Witcher set off to find it, with Keira in tow. Ciri had never reached the elven mage, yet the wild hunt had. The ghostly retinue was one step ahead of Geralt, or so it seemed. The Witcher felt that all was lost, until Keira gave him a new lead. The Crones of Crookback Bog.
You'll regret that!
While searching for the witch Ciri had quarreled with, Geralt ran into an old friend, Keira Metz. The sorceress told the Witcher about a masked mage. Ciri had seemed to have taken shelter in his hideout. The Witcher set off to find it, with Keira in tow. Ciri had never reached the elven mage, yet the wild hunt had. The ghostly retinue was one step ahead of Geralt, or so it seemed. The Witcher felt that all was lost, until Keira gave him a new lead. The Crones of Crookback Bog.
So, found what you were...
Yeah.
What do you want with those bait?
Why, I aim to use... Alexander was studying the Catriona plague. I'll use his notes to produce medic...
Strictly humanitarian motivation.
No, strictly selfish ones. The mighty would pay willingly for such a remedy. Can you imagine how much? Take Radovid, for instance. Why, he might even
You're either incredibly gullible...
Whatever do you...
Radovid has one objective. To defeat Emir. Curing Catriona, stopping the plague, won't help him do that.
Don't be ridiculous.
Not yet.
In theory, it's just as possible. I don't have time to debate this, Geralt. I'm going...
Right on that count. I don't like this. Radovid'll use you. Make you history's villain. The scapegoat. But if that's what you want...
Yes, that's exactly what I want. So stop lecturing me and leave me alone. Farewell and a pleasant journey to you. Well...
While searching for the witch Ciri had quarreled with, Geralt ran into an old friend, Keira Metz. Sorceress told the Witcher about a masked mage. Ciri had seemed to have taken shelter in his hideout. The Witcher set off to find it, with Keira in tow. Ciri had never reached the elven mage, yet the wild hunt had. The ghostly retinue was one step ahead of Geralt, or so it seemed. The Witcher felt that all was lost, until Keira gave him a new lead. The Crones of Crookback Bog.
Yes.
What do you want?
Why? Alexander was... No, strict. The mighty would pay
You're either
Whatever do you...
Radovid has one objective.
Don't be ridiculous.
Not yet.
In theory, it's just as possible for... I don't have time to debate.
It's your conscience. But you do know hundreds, thousands could die.
What of it? What difference will it make if Nilfgaard's legions die by steel or because of some fucking germs? None.
A plague can go wrong, go wild. A sword won't. That's the difference.
Shut up for a moment and look at me. See this? Bedbugs, Geralt. Bloody bedbugs. I, Keira Metz, advisor to Foltest and member of the Lodge of Sorceresses, have bedbugs. Think what you will, but I'll not stay in this bloody swamp one day more. Not one day. I shall cross the Pontar, and that means Radovid's men will find me sooner or later. Don't you understand? I don't have a choice. I will have to parley.
Got another option. Go to Kaer Morhen.
You believe I'd be safe there?
Long as you don't piss Lambert off, yes. Emir, Radovid, neither will be able to reach you. Find little in the way of luxury there, but we do have clean sheets.
It's a long way, well beyond the dividing line. But if I keep to the woods until I reach the Kestrel Mountains, I should pass through unnoticed. So be it. Seems I find it hard to refuse you, handsome. You've clearly a notion of what women want, how they think.
Yeah, kinda. So before I go, I'll need you to hand me those notes.
All right, take them already. Farewell, Geralt. Or rather, see you soon.
I asked her, how do I get my lush to use his head? How? So, she... Look, says it'll quench his thirst. And? Did it? Next day, he traded it for a jug of hooch.
A trade keeps the hunger at bay.
Yeah?
Let me see what you're offering. need something crafted. Can you take a look? So long.
Is it true? Northern women bathe once every 3
Said a hag to a hag. Now try their hands.
Hey!
Got coin to spend?
I might. Wouldn't mind a look at your stock. Farewell.
Master the trade, keeps the hunger at bay. Master Witcher, there's an elven burial ground in the caverns near about.
You won't be as cocky once the Baron's men whip your arse.